She scoffed. "Oh, please, you could never afford me anyway." After I refused to pay for her designer bag, I smiled and said, "You're right." When she saw me at dinner with the CEO who just hired me as his financial advisor, her face turned pale. I, 27 male, ended things with my girlfriend Bianca, 26, 3 months ago over a $3,200 handbag. But really it was about so much more than that. We'd been dating for 2 years. She worked as a marketing coordinator at a fashion startup, not designing or anything creative, just scheduling social media posts and organizing influencer packages. But the way she talked, you'd think she was Anna Wintour herself. I was finishing my CFA Level 3 exam while working as a junior analyst at a small investment firm. Not glamorous, but I was building toward something. Bianca never asked about my work. Her eyes would glaze over if I mentioned anything finance-related. "Ugh, numbers are so boring," she'd say, then launch into a story about which influencer got which PR package. The relationship worked when we were both broke post-college kids. We'd split $12 cocktails and pretend we were fancy. But as her tastes expensive, I became the enemy for not keeping up. The beginning of the end started 6 months ago. Bianca's coworker Sienna got engaged to some tech guy. Massive ring, destination wedding planned, the works. Suddenly, our relationship wasn't measuring up. "When are you going to start acting like a real boyfriend?" she asked one night. "What does that mean?" "Sienna's boyfriend took her to Cabo last month. We haven't been anywhere since that wedding in Ohio. I'm studying 30 hours a week on top of working full-time. After I pass the CFA. There's always some excuse with you." 3 months ago, we were shopping downtown. She dragged me into some luxury boutique where the salespeople look at you like you're contaminating their air. Bianca zeroed in on this quilted leather bag. "Isn't it gorgeous?" She held it up, already posing. I checked the tag. $3,200. For a bag. That's 2 months of my rent. "It's nice," I said carefully. "I need it. The sample sale is next week and Sienna will be there. I can't show up with my old bag again." "Then buy it?" She laughed. Actually laughed. "On my salary?" "Don't be ridiculous." The implication hung there. I was supposed to offer. When I didn't, her face darkened. "Seriously? You're not gonna get it for me?" "Bianca, that's $3,000. For a bag." "For my bag? God, you're so cheap. No wonder you dress like you shop at Target." "I do shop at Target." She rolled her eyes. "Exactly my point." The sales associate was pretending not to watch. Other customers were definitely watching. Bianca's voice kept rising. "I'm so tired of this. Sienna's boyfriend bought her a Cartier bracelet just because it was Tuesday. What do I get? Lectures about budgets and savings rates. If you want luxury goods, maybe date someone in luxury goods income brackets?" That's when she said it. Full volume, dripping with disdain. "Oh please, you could never afford me anyway." The store went silent. Even the security guard looked uncomfortable. I looked at her for a long moment. This person I'd spent 2 years with, who I'd cooked dinners for, helped move apartments, supported through her career crisis phase, who apparently saw me as an ATM with disappointing withdrawal limits. "You're right," I said quietly. "I can't." And I walked out. She followed, but the damage was done. We broke up that night. She called me cheap, boring, unambitious, said I'd be calculating compound interest while real men were living life. I just packed my stuff from her place and left. What Bianca didn't know, because she never asked, was that I'd been interviewing for months. A headhunter had reached out about a senior analyst position at a boutique wealth management firm. I'd had 3 rounds of interviews already. They were particularly interested in my quantitative background and the fact I was about to complete the CFA program. 2 weeks after we broke up, I got the call. Senior financial analyst position. Starting salary $95 plus bonuses. Not tech money, but solid for my age and experience. The CEO, Harrison Cromwell, wanted to personally mentor me toward becoming a financial advisor for their high-net-worth clients. I started the Monday after passing my CFA Level 3. Threw myself into the work. Turns out I'm good at this. Really good. Clients liked that I could explain complex strategies without condescension. Harrison noticed. Last week, he called me into his office. "I want to fast-track you to advisor. You've got the technical skills and the temperament. Interested?" Interested. This was the opportunity I'd been working toward for years. "There's a client dinner Thursday at Meridian, black tie. I want you there as my newest advisor." Good? Meridian. The place where appetizers cost more than my old weekly grocery budget. Where Bianca always wanted to go, but I could never afford. I'll be there. Update 1 Thursday night. Wearing my first real suit, not the interview special from Men's Warehouse, but a proper tailored situation. Harrison insisted the firm cover it. You're representing us now, he said. Meridian was exactly as intimidating as expected. Valet parking, coat check, the whole production. I was at Harrison's table with 2 clients, a couple who'd just sold their chain of medical clinics, discussing tax-efficient wealth transfer strategies. We were mid-conversation about charitable remainder trusts when I heard it. That laugh. That specific practiced laugh she did when trying to impress someone. Bianca was 3 tables over, but not with friends. She was with Sienna and 2 older couples, probably Sienna's parents and future in-laws from the look of it. Pre-wedding dinner maybe? She hadn't seen me yet. She was too busy being performatively interested in whatever Sienna's future father-in-law was saying, lots of nodding and touching her collarbone, her "I'm so fascinated" move. Harrison noticed my distraction. Someone you know? My ex. He glanced over. Ah? Recent? 3 months. And now you're here and she's... Is she with that gentleman? I looked again. Bianca was practically draped over some guy in his 40s who looked like he'd been poured into his suit. Sienna's uncle, maybe? He seemed more interested in his steak than her. No idea. Well, let's give her something to think about, shall we? Harrison raised his glass. To our newest financial advisor. May your portfolios be forever balanced and your clients forever grateful. The whole table toasted, loud enough to turn heads, including Bianca's. I watched it happen in slow motion. Her eyes swept the room, landed on me, skipped past, then snapped back. The laugh died on her lips. She blinked hard, like I might disappear. I raised my glass in her direction, smiled, and turned back to my conversation. 20 minutes later, I excused myself to the restroom. Of course she intercepted me in the hallway. What are you doing here? She hissed. Having dinner. Don't be cute. This place is $200 a plate. Good thing I'm not paying then. She looked me up and down, taking in the suit, the watch, graduation gift from my parents, but she didn't need to know that. You can't afford. Mr. Fitzgerald. Harrison appeared behind me. The Weatherbys have a question about municipal bonds. When you have a moment. Of course, Mr. Cromwell. I'll be right there. Harrison nodded at Bianca politely and headed back. Her mouth was hanging open. Mr. Cromwell? Harrison Cromwell of Cromwell Wealth Management? My boss. But you're just an analyst. Financial advisor now, actually. That's impossible. You need years of... Turns out they value potential over time served. Crazy, right? She grabbed my arm. We should talk. Catch up. I've missed you. 3 months of radio silence, and now she missed me? I'm working, Bianca. After then, we could get drinks? I don't think that's a good idea. Her grip tightened. Don't be like that. We had something special. We had you screaming at me in public because I wouldn't buy you a handbag. I was stressed. You know how Sienna makes me feel. And look, she's marrying some old guy for money. At least what we had was real. What we had was you treating me like a disappointment with a wallet. That's not. Bianca, I need to get back. Enjoy your dinner. I extracted my arm and walked away. Behind me, I heard her call out, "You'll regret this." I did not regret it. Update 2. Thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. The text started that night. Hey stranger, crazy running into you. You looked good tonight. Harrison Cromwell is kind of a silver fox, right? Lol. Are you ignoring me? Real mature Ryan. I didn't respond to any of them. Had more important things to focus on, like my actual job. But Bianca wasn't done. Monday morning, our receptionist knocked on my office door. Yeah, I have an office now. Small but mine. Ryan, there's a Bianca here to see you. Says she's your girlfriend. She's not. And I'm about to jump on a client call. Can you tell her I'm unavailable? 10 minutes later, another knock. She says she'll wait. She can wait all day. I'm booked solid. She seems determined. I sighed. Walked out to reception. Bianca was perched on our leather sofa, dressed like she was auditioning for a role as sexy secretary in a bad movie. Skirt too short for a professional environment, heel too high for someone who claims to work in an office. We're not doing this here, I said quietly. Then where? You won't answer my texts. Because we broke up 3 months ago after you publicly humiliated me. I apologized. No, you didn't. Well, I'm apologizing now. Can we go to lunch? I have work. You always have work. That was our problem. No, our problem was you wanted a sugar daddy, not a boyfriend. The receptionist was trying very hard to look busy. 2 junior analysts were definitely listening from the break room. How dare you? Bianca, leave, now, or I'll have security escort you out. She stood up, furious. You've changed. Money's made you cruel. I make $95K a year. That's not cruel money. That's can finally afford guacamole at Chipotle money. Don't be flip with me. Then don't show up at my job claiming to be my girlfriend. She stormed out, but not before stage whispering to the receptionist. He used to be sweet. Watch out for this one. Rebecca, our receptionist who's been here 15 years and takes no BS, just replied, Ma'am, the elevator's that way. Thought that was rock bottom for her. Wrong again. Wednesday, I get called into Harrison's office. My stomach dropped. Had Bianca somehow. Sit, he said. We need to discuss something delicate. Oh God. I received a call yesterday from a young woman claiming to be your fiancée. Bianca. Indeed. She wanted to inform me that you've been having mental health struggles. Suggested perhaps the new position was causing undue stress. Offered to help mediate your workload. Very concerned about your well-being. I put my head in my hands. I'm so sorry. She's my ex. We broke up 3 months ago. She's having trouble accepting it. I gathered, especially when she mentioned you'd forgotten to put her on your insurance forms. She what? Asked about spousal benefits. Seemed quite knowledgeable about our benefits package. Almost like she'd researched it. Harrison, He held up a hand. Ryan, I'm not concerned about your performance. You're exceeding expectations. I am concerned about this becoming a disruption. Do we need to involve security? I'll handle it. See that you do. Also, he smiled slightly. Next time you date someone, maybe find one who's impressed by compound interest rather than compound shopping. That afternoon, I had a lawyer friend draft a cease and desist letter. Sent it certified mail to Bianca's apartment and her work. Simple. Stop contacting me. Stop showing up at my workplace. Stop claiming to be my fiancé or face legal action. Her response came via Instagram DM from a fake account. Lawyer letters? Really? What happened to you? What happened to me? I grew a spine and a portfolio. Update 3. The cease and desist letter should have been the end. Normal people would have gotten the message. But Bianca had invested too much in her narrative to back down now. According to mutual friends, she'd been telling people we were taking a break, but working things out. My new job? She was taking credit for motivating me to aim higher. The client dinner? We were there together, obviously. Her Instagram stories were wild, posting old photos of us with captions like through thick and thin and building empires together. Girl was living in a complete fantasy. Then came the holiday party incident. Every year, Cromwell Wealth Management throws a massive holiday party for clients and staff. Black tie, champagne fountains, the works. As the newest advisor, I was expected to attend and mingle. I brought my colleague Jasmine as a +1. Purely platonic. She's happily married and her wife had a work thing. But I didn't want to navigate my first major company event solo. We were having a great time. I just closed my first solo client that week, and people were congratulating me. Harrison introduced me to potential clients as our rising star. Everything I'd worked for was clicking into place. Then security approached Harrison. They spoke quietly, but I caught fragments. Insisting she's on the list, Mr. Fitzgerald's fiancée, making a scene. I excused myself and headed to the entrance. Sure enough, there was Bianca in a red dress that probably cost a month of her rent, arguing with security. There's been a mistake. I'm Ryan's fiancée. Check again. The security guard looked relieved to see me. Mr. Fitzgerald, this woman claims. She's not my fiancée, she's not my anything, and she's not on the list. Bianca's face cycled through emotions. Shock, rage, desperation. Baby, tell them, don't be like this, not tonight. There's a cease and desist letter with your name on it, which you're violating right now. You don't mean that. We're soulmates. I supported your dreams. You mocked my dreams, repeatedly, in public. A crowd was forming. Clients, colleagues, everyone watching this woman melting down in designer shoes. I made you. She screamed. You were nothing before me. A boring nobody with a calculator. I taught you how to dress, how to act, how to be someone worth knowing. Harrison appeared beside me. Is there a problem here? No, sir. Security was just escorting this woman out. But Bianca wasn't done. She turned to Harrison, tears streaming, mascara running. He's sick. He needs help. I've been trying to protect you, protect the company, but he's having delusions. He thinks he's some big shot now, but he's just a nobody who got lucky. Harrison's face was stone. Ma'am, I hired Ryan personally. His capabilities are not in question. Your behavior, however, is concerning. Security, please ensure this woman leaves the property immediately. As they escorted her out, she kept screaming. You'll see. He'll crash and burn. He can't do this without me. He's nothing without me. The party resumed, but the damage was done. Everyone had seen. My professional debut had turned into a soap opera. Harrison pulled me aside. My office, Monday morning, 9 a.m. I spent the weekend convinced I was getting fired. First big event, and I'd brought drama to his doorstep. Started updating my resume, preparing for the worst. Monday came. I sat across from Harrison, ready for the axe to fall. That was quite a show, he started. I'm deeply sorry. I never imagined. Why didn't you mention she'd escalated to this level? I thought the legal letter would handle it. I didn't want to seem like I couldn't manage my personal life. He leaned back. Ryan, part of being a financial advisor is knowing when to ask for help. Your ex-girlfriend is stalking and harassing you. That's not a personal failing. That's a security issue. I understand if you need to reconsider my position. Reconsider? Ryan, do you know what I saw Friday night? I shook my head. I saw a young man maintaining complete professionalism while being publicly attacked. You didn't engage, didn't escalate, didn't lose your composure. That's exactly the temperament we need. But we're filing a formal restraining order on behalf of the firm. She's banned from all company properties and events. If she contacts you again, we prosecute. Clear? Yes, sir. Good. Now, the Hendersons were impressed with how you handled yourself. They want to meet about managing their retirement portfolio. You free Thursday? Just like that, I went from certain termination to landing $1 million client. But Bianca wasn't finished. Not yet. Final update. The restraining order was served January 3rd. Bianca had 30 days to respond if she wanted to contest it. She did more than contest it. She went nuclear. First came the social media manifesto, a multi-slide Instagram post detailing our love story and how I'd been brainwashed by corporate greed. According to her version, she'd sacrificed everything to support my career, only to be discarded once I found success. The comments were brutal. Girl, didn't you dump him for being too poor? Isn't this the same guy you called calculator boy? Sis, we were there when you screamed at him in Nordstrom. This you? With screenshots of her old posts mocking my Target wardrobe and boring job. She deleted it within hours, but screenshots were already circulating. Then came the legal response. She actually hired a lawyer to fight the restraining order. Claimed it was damaging her reputation and career prospects. The hearing was set for late January. I hired my own lawyer. Prepared evidence, security footage from the office visit, the holiday party incident, recordings from building security, the cease and desist violation, text records, everything. The hearing was illuminating. Bianca showed up dressed like she was going to a funeral. Conservative, black suit, minimal makeup, hair in a bun, going for the wronged woman aesthetic. Her lawyer argued I was using my newfound wealth and power to punish her for ending our relationship, that the restraining order was retaliatory and unnecessary. Then my lawyer presented evidence. The security footage was damning. Bianca screaming in the lobby, claiming to be my fiancé, having to be physically escorted out. The holiday party meltdown in full color. But the best part was when my lawyer asked her directly, Miss Torres, did you end the relationship with Mr. Fitzgerald? Well, it was mutual. I have here a text message from you to your friend Sienna, dated the night of the breakup. Would you read it for the court? She went pale. I don't recall. It says, quote, dumped Ryan tonight. He wouldn't buy me the Bottega bag. So embarrassing. Cheryl saw everything. Time to upgrade anyway. End quote. The judge looked over his glasses. So you ended the relationship? It's complicated. It seems straightforward. You dumped him for not purchasing a luxury item. He moved on. You didn't. Now you're harassing him at his workplace. Her lawyer tried to salvage. Your Honor, Miss Torres was simply concerned about Mr. Fitzgerald's mental health. By claiming to be his fiancé, by disrupting his workplace, by attempting to contact his employer with false claims. Game over. The restraining order was granted. 2 years, no contact, stay 500 feet away from me, my home, and my workplace. But the real kicker came after court. We were all leaving when Bianca's phone rang. She answered and I heard her side. What do you mean, terminated? A restraining order isn't... But I've been there for 3 years. This is wrongful termination. Turns out her fashion startup didn't want an employee with a restraining order for harassment, especially when the court documents were public record, especially when she'd been using company time to stalk me. Her lawyer walked away without another word, probably calculating how much of a retainer he'd have to refund. Bianca stood there in the courthouse hallway, finally understanding. No job, legal fees, restraining order on her record. All because she couldn't accept that the calculator boy she dumped for being too poor had moved on without her. The last thing she said to me before her Uber arrived, this isn't how it was supposed to go. No, I agreed. You were supposed to dump me, find a rich guy, and live happily ever after. And I was supposed to pine for you forever, right? She didn't answer, just got in the car and left. That was 6 weeks ago. I haven't heard from her since. Mutual friends say she moved back with her parents in the suburbs, deleted all her social media. Last anyone heard, she was working at her dad's accounting firm doing data entry. Ironic. The girl who hated boring numbers is now surrounded by them. As for me, business is thriving. The Henderson portfolio led to 3 more referrals. Harrison's talking about making me a junior partner in a few years. Even started dating again. A teacher who thinks my Excel shortcuts are adorable and doesn't know what a Bottega bag is. Funny thing about being told you could never afford someone. It makes you realize they were the one who couldn't afford to lose you. Oh, and that $3,200 bag that started this whole thing? Saw it at a consignment shop last week, marked down to $900. Still overpriced for what's essentially a leather box with straps. But I could afford it now. Multiple times over. I just don't want to.